Talking with Mules head football coach Jim Svoboda. Coach, you just finished up fall camp. School started now. Just give me some initial thoughts about how the last week and a half, 2 weeks of practice has gone.
Well, really well. About how you'd want it to turn out in terms of getting through camp and being relatively injury-free and having good competition between the offense and defense as far as the ones go, and some good plays on both sides of the ball. And you just as a head coach, you always want to get through that last scrimmage and be in good shape health-wise, and like I said, have some good things happen on both sides of the ball, and that's exactly what happened last Saturday.
Got a lot of guys coming back, but also some key positions where we got some new guys. You graduate both receivers in Jamar and Taylor Dyer. You have some guys coming back with experience. Who's kind of stepping up at the receiver position?
Well, we've had a lot of young kids and kids that actually got in the game last year, but don't have a lot of stats, but have that. We have about 21 or 22 kids on the team that have some kind of starting experience, and so that's good. It's always I think a challenge for those kids to get through that first first catch, first start, first carry, first tackle, those kinds of things, and so we got a lot of that out of our system, but Clayton Cooper, Anthony Kirkwood have done a good job stepping in those roles at the wide receiver spot. Those are two kids that are really physically developed kids that have done a great job in the weight room, are tremendously fast, and really have done a good job in terms of getting the command of the offense down and do a great job route running. Of course, Ralph Watson's our slot receiver. Ralph played quite a bit last year, did a lot of different things for us in terms of running the football and doing some things in that slot receiver position. Ralph is a All-American in the hurdles and track, so he's got good speed as well. And so those three kids have done a great job. We have a transfer named Ronry Lloyd that has really been coming on and is a good-sized kid and has also really picked up the offense fast. So we're pretty solid there right now.
This is your third season as head coach. It'll be the third year with a different starting quarterback. Of course, you had Eric Cerneski in your first year. You had Tommy Corwin last year. Who's kind of taking control of the quarterback position here early on in the fall?
Well, Mike Peterson really took most of the reps last spring with the ones, and Mike's the guy that's been in the program, has sort of been waiting in the wings in terms of behind Eric Cerneski, the kid in 2010, and Tommy Corwin last year. And so you don't really know as a head coach, guys in that spot, they can be kind of back in the dark and when the film's going on and taking a nap and not paying attention. And as it turned out, Pete was really paying attention and really has a good grasp of what we're doing. He's really developed himself physically. He's got a tremendous release that he's worked and also has done a good job developing his strength in terms of his velocity. And Hayden Hawk took a lot of reps in the spring too because he transferred in and didn't get a lot of reps in the fall, and then Colt Smith injured his shoulder and was rehabbing, and so Hayden jumped in there and really did a lot of nice things in the spring too. So as it's progressed and Colt has worked through his injury and his rehab, Colt has really come on in the fall and really kind of pushed that position. So we got a good competition going on between all three of those guys, and they were all very efficient last Saturday in terms of throwing the football. We had a good percentage, and I think they all threw a touchdown pass, and so it was good to see that.
Flipping to the other side of the ball, it's a really veteran group on the defensive side of the ball. A lot of guys back. They got a year under their belt in Coach Jeter's defense. This will be his second year as defensive coordinator. Talk about that group a little bit and just, I guess, their progression as they've gotten older through 1 year with Coach Jeter and their progression into this year.
Well, we do have a lot of experience there, and I think what I like out of the defense is they have a little bit of an edge about them this fall. I think that they feel like they are a better unit than what they displayed at times last year, particularly against the run, and so we're led by really by Pat Lewis at the safety position back there. I think our secondary is really strong in general with Paul Hughes and Alexis Reedus at our corner spots. That gives you some latitude to do a lot of things if you want to do some pressure things, because those kids are really good cover guys back there. We're really solid at defensive end. We have 4 defensive ends. I think that that could play most places in David Bax, Deontay McDonald, Adrian Perricone, and Latavius Davis. And so, and then inside with Rico Wilson, Russ Allen, pretty solid group. The unit that has been a little bit kind of in transition since we've been here is a little bit like the offensive line relative to we've kind of mixed guys and just really haven't had a lot of consistency as that linebacker spot. And so Joe Carter and Evan Knight and Colin Hanna have really all had solid falls and doing a good job right now. I think they're a couple of notches of where we've been in that position just because they've been able to play the same spot. And so they look real solid. They've been solid against the run. Like I said, I've been impressed with them in terms of how fast they're playing. They do have another level of command with the defense under Coach Jeter, and so it's been exciting to see that unit gel.
Special teams wise, a lot of guys back. Matt Jordan, Aaron Jamison, guys that have been in those roles for a few years
Zach
now.
Gebhardt, yeah.
Zach Gebhardt, a guy who's been around and has done some good things kicking the ball. And then you also bring back, punt returners and kick returners. Talk about the special teams unit a little bit.
Well, we have a new coach for the 3rd time in 3 years, Kyle Westfall, and we brought him in last March, and he's really done an outstanding job. The thing about special teams is you don't do a lot of live stuff with special teams, so you probably don't know exactly sort of where you're at. I know that we'll be really organized, and what we have on our team is on special teams. What makes you strong, we've been really strong the last couple of years, is you got kind of a lot of the medium-sized guys that can run and hit, and they kind of fill out your depth chart on special teams. And so, our personnel is really good, and we have some exciting kids in terms of returning the ball back there with Kirkwood and Cooper and a couple other guys back there. So I think we'll be sort of dangerous. With the rule changes, they've taken some of the return stuff out, especially kickoff returns, so you don't maybe have as many opportunities there. But to have that kind of experience coming back with that unit, sometimes that can be glaring, and that group of guys, especially our kicker and punter, should be really solid.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.